Welcome to episode number 254, where I'm taking questions from the Elements of Ayurveda podcast community. I answer questions about building a routine of self-care practices to pacify Vata. I talk about how to get oil out of your abhyanga towel, and I talk about the healing protocol in Ayurveda and how that healing process works from consultation to treatment. So please stay tuned. Welcome to the Elements of Ayurveda podcast. I'm your host, Colette, and I hope to educate and empower you to take charge of your health and well-being, preventing disease in the body and mind so that you can thrive in life. I will be sharing the holistic teachings of Ayurveda, which is the ancient healing tradition from India. Now, if you're new to Ayurveda, I recommend listening to the first couple of episodes where I do an introduction to Ayurveda and the mind-body types. And if you like the content, please be sure to subscribe or follow the podcast so the new episodes will automatically download for you. Also, you may want to check out my private Elements community, which is away from social media. It's a safe space for like-minded people to come together, to connect, to share, to support each other, and to continue the conversation from the podcast episodes. Check out the link in the show notes or visit my website, elementshealingandwellbeing.com, and just click on the community tab. And I hope to connect with you there. Thanks for listening. And now here's a new episode. This episode is sponsored by Carla Ayurveda. Would you like to learn more about the elements, doshas, seasonal guidelines, and other Ayurvedic principles? Carla Academy offers online and in-person training to guide you in your wellness journey and help you support others to align with nature and their true self. Fall programs begin this October, and now is the best time to join. To learn more, visit keralaayurveda.us/courses. And for $100 off tuition, use the code ELEMENTS100 when you join a beginner training. Check out the details in the show notes. Hello, it's me, Colette, and today is going to be a solo episode where I'm taking questions from the Elements of Ayurveda podcast community. We have 3 great questions to get to, so let's get started. The first one is from Betty, and Betty says, I'm enjoying learning about Ayurveda from your podcast, and in particular, I'm learning a lot about how to manage my Vata dosha. I understand that routine is very important for Vata, and I have great intentions. However, I find it hard to figure out what type of routines to focus on. Any tips would be very helpful. Thank you. Well, thanks, Betty, for your question. And I'm happy to hear that you're learning through the podcast. And you're correct. The Vata dosha is pacified by having a routine in daily habits. The reason being is that Vata is comprised of the space and air elements, which makes it very subtle in nature, meaning that it can be sensitive to imbalance. And when the Vata dosha is imbalanced, it can result in irregularity in the body, and the bodily systems can be affected as a result. Now, the Vata dosha is responsible for all movement in the body and is the energy of action and transportation in the body. And if you have a high Vata constitution, you have a tendency to have lots of energy, lots of movement, maybe lots of talking, a hard time sitting still, lots of ideas and creativity, and a desire to be in the exciting places where things are happening. These are all wonderful aspects of the Vata dosha. However, too much of this exciting, high energy, spontaneous lifestyle can deplete the Vata dosha and cause aggravations like dryness in the body. There may be dryness in the skin, the hair, the nails, the lips, the stool, resulting in constipation. There may be irregularity in the digestive system, which can cause gas, bloating, burping, gurgling, and not feeling hungry at regular intervals. There can be irregularity in elimination, so the bowel movements will not be consistent, or there may be constipation, so without a bowel movement for more than a day. And there could be irregularity in the nervous system or an overactive nervous system resulting in sleeping issues, having a hard time getting to sleep, or maybe waking up between the hours of 2 to 6 a.m. when Vata is high in the environment. So you're really sensitive to that rise in Vata between 2 and 6 a.m. There also may be irregularity in energy, so having real slumps in energy throughout the day. There could also be an overactive mind resulting in the mind jumping to the future and the what-if scenarios or even worst-case scenarios. And that, of course, will create fear and worry, nervousness, maybe anxiety. Therefore, the antidote to this tendency towards inconsistency and irregularity is routine, and a consistent routine at that. Routine in waking and sleeping, routine in meal times, in hydration, in self-care practices, and mindfulness practices to help keep that Vata energy grounded. This routine, of course, goes against that Vata desire for spontaneity and change. However, I really believe that when you feel how balanced your body and mind is due to a consistent routine, then you will understand how important it is to have this routine or structure for your life so that you're providing that active Vata energy with a grounded foundation from which it can soar, inspire, create without fear of depletion. So as I said earlier, a routine in sleeping and waking is very important, and the sleeping routine may require some self-care practices in the evening in order to calm the nervous system so that you can get to sleep easily. Sometimes when Vata is aggravated, the nervous system can be overactivated, which results in a hard time unwinding and calming the nervous system at night, and therefore having a hard time getting to sleep. So really setting yourself up for a good night's sleep with an evening routine so that, again, you can get to sleep easily and that you don't wake in the Vata time of 2 to 6 a.m. So you basically want to set your day up so that you're living in tune with the circadian rhythms, the daily energy cycles. And if you're not familiar, if you've never heard of the circadian rhythms, check out podcast episode number 8, where I go into detail on this daily energy cycle. But basically living in tune with the circadian rhythms, in tune with nature, will require some discipline because it means stopping work by 6 p.m. so that you're unwinding in the kapha time of day. So the kapha time of day is from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. And the idea is that this heavy, grounded kapha energy will help prepare us for bed by making us sleepy. This kapha time should be spent on calming activities, ensuring that you're not activating your nervous system with stimulating activity, and then making sure that lights are out by 10 p.m. before the Pitta energy rises. So Pitta energy rises from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. for our internal house cleaning. However, if we're up and active at this time, this rise in Pitta energy will give us the illusion of a second wind. And we know that Vata is very sensitive to the shifts in energy, which means that if you catch that second wind of Pitta at 10 p.m., it can again result in having a really hard time getting to sleep. Now, when I work with clients, I tailor these evening routines to their lifestyle, but it may consist of avoiding technology before bed or practicing yoga or pranayama or meditation or maybe creative projects, anything that brings the mind into a calm place. Or perhaps the client may do an abhyanga oil massage to help calm and soothe the nervous system. Really respecting the circadian rhythms and living in tune with them is a key aspect of balancing the doshas, and in particular balancing Vata, which has a tendency towards going out of balance very easily. Also, ensuring that the digestive fire or Agni is working efficiently and building a pattern of regular hunger windows for your 3 meals per day which will result in consistent energy throughout the day, is very important for Vata as well. So the Vata dosha can sometimes experience a short hunger window. And if this hunger window is ignored, this can result in the hunger signal disappearing, and then you may go without food until you really feel lightheaded and have a blood sugar crash. So therefore, tuning into that hunger window and respecting the body when it gives you that hunger signal is really important. And if you find that you have no appetite and you have no awareness of the hunger window, then this will require some stimulating the digestive fire with digestive spices like ginger, black pepper, fennel, and cinnamon. These spices can be added to food or in herbal teas, and even drinking just plain hot water will be helpful to stimulate the digestive fire. So, Betty, I recommend working on just these two routines, your bedtime routine and your eating routine, and that's enough for now. As Vata has a tendency to take on too much at once and become overwhelmed. So it's important to take baby steps and focus on progress rather than trying to do it all at once and getting overwhelmed and then giving up. Putting these two practices in place will really help support you in all aspects of your life and enjoy all the benefits of a balanced Vata dosha. So your bedtime routine and your eating routine are the two to focus on right now, Betty. I hope that helps. And when you get those in routine and you're feeling good and grounded, then you can work on other routines. Now, if you would like further support on daily routines, then you can check out my Daily Habits for Holistic Health program, which is a 28-day self-paced online program that you can start at any time. The objective of this 28-day online course is to educate and support you through the process of implementing daily routines and habits to help you achieve holistic health by balancing the doshas, preventing illness, and supporting all the systems of your body and mind so that you can thrive. In this 28-day program, you'll learn about how to structure your day with the circadian rhythms. You'll learn about the mental gunas or qualities and maintaining positive mental health. You'll learn about the foundations of Ayurvedic healing and becoming your own healer. We'll focus on that healing principle of like increases like and opposites pacify. Once you understand that principle, you can take charge of your own health. And we'll also talk about connecting to your true nature and your intuition to help guide you in living a positive and fulfilling life. To find out more about this 28-day online Daily Habits for Holistic Health program, just click on the link in the show notes or visit my website, elementshealingandwellbeing.com, and just choose the programs tab. Okay. Thank you, Betty, for that question. I hope that advice was helpful. And remember, start with small increments of change and build on that. Okay. The next question is from Carla. Carla says, I'm doing a daily abhyanga oil massage and I really like it. However, I notice that my towel is collecting lots of oil. What do you recommend for getting rid of the excess oil in towels used for abhyanga? Thank you, Carla. Great question. Abhyanga, the practice of performing an oil massage, is highly recommended as part of our daily dinacharya or daily routines. It's a practice of self-care and self-love, nourishing the tissues, lubricating the joints, and strengthening our whole body, improving our circulation and elimination, along with calming the nervous system and promoting longevity. It's recommended to allow the oil to sit on the skin for at least 15 to 20 minutes and then take a shower so the hot water drives the oil deeper into tissues and then towel dry. Now, this is where the one little problem arises with abhyanga, as Carla points out, and that is that after the shower, you will be left with a very light film of oil on your skin. And so naturally, some of this oil will transfer onto your towel. And if you do this every day, you'll have quite an oily towel after a while. So first of all, my advice, Carla, would be assign specific towels and clothes, if you like to cover up, just for abhyanga, because over time, these items will become oil saturated. You'll want to wash these items separate from your other laundry in a hot cycle with your regular laundry detergent and half a cup of washing soda or sodium carbonate, which is a powerful degreaser. Never put your abhyanga towel or clothes in the dryer, as with all that oil in those materials, it can be a fire hazard. So never in the dryer. It's best to hang outside to dry. Now, eventually, after a couple of months using the same towel, it will become oversaturated and you will just have to discard it. You'll also want to clean your shower or tub to ensure that the oil doesn't leave a slippery residue. So what I do is I keep a spray bottle of 50-50 white vinegar and water. And after each shower, just do a quick spray and a wipe, and that will remove the oil residue. And then once a week, give your shower or tub a good scrub with a tub cleaner or baking soda. Then every couple of weeks, it's a good idea to put 2 tablespoons of baking soda with a half a cup of vinegar down the drain to ensure that the pipes don't become clogged with a buildup of oil. So there you go, Carla. I hope that helps you with your laundering of the abhyanga towels and clothes. And great question. I get asked that a lot, and I'm sure a lot of people out there are wondering what to do. This episode is sponsored by New World Ayurveda. If you're interested in working with client case studies from day one of your training, consider becoming an Ayurvedic practitioner through New World Ayurveda School. This way you learn the theory of Ayurveda at the same time as you learn how to apply it practically. Get a head start on working with clients by learning Ayurveda through being exposed to the most common problems clients face and how to correct them with diet, lifestyle, and herbs. The other interesting thing about New World Ayurveda is that you start learning pulse diagnosis from the very first day. They have had the most experience teaching Ayurveda online than any other Ayurveda school, and they have developed ways of teaching pulse diagnosis at a distance. And you get the chance to study Ayurveda with an MD through Ayurveda's premier online school, New World Ayurveda. For more information, go to newworldayurveda.com, and you'll also find that link in the show notes. Okay, so let's move on to my last question from Jane, who asks, how does the Ayurvedic healing process work from the consultation to the treatment? Okay, great question, Jane. And so let me start by telling you about Ayurveda's views on disease. First of all, Ayurveda teaches us that there are only 2 types of disorders or disease. First, disease due to depletion and degeneration. And second, disease due to stagnation and accumulation. So Ayurveda tells us that every disease can be put into either of these 2 types. Now, let me give you an example to help clarify this. We'll start with the disease of depletion and degeneration. So this could occur due to living a very stressful life whether that's due to work pressures or personal life problems or living out of tune with the circadian rhythms. Any situation where you're stretching your body or mind beyond its threshold. This overexertion can result in degeneration, which can cause Vata to become vitiated or imbalanced. And an imbalanced Vata dosha will result in an altered immune system, which can result in disease manifestation. And remember that Vata is responsible for all movement in the body. Therefore, without Vata, the Pitta and Kapha doshas are disabled. They can't move. Now, the second type of disorder is a disease due to stagnation and accumulation. And this can occur due to a compromised digestive fire where the food is not metabolized properly, which result in undigested food particles, also known as ama, circulating in the system. This ama, which is often referred to as the bedrock of disease, can block the channels of the body by accumulating in the channels, and as a result, vitiating Vata. as it's disrupting the flow of Vata, which again results in an altered immune system, which can lead to the manifestation of disease. So both of these types of disease result in a vitiation of Vata, which results then in an altered immune system, which then can lead to the manifestation of disease. So when a rogi or patient comes into an Ayurvedic consultation, the first step is understanding the status of the Agni or digestive fire and the status of Ama or the accumulation of toxins in the body. This is done by asking lots of questions about the individual's appetite, digestion, what they're eating, when they're eating, how they're eating, their bowel movements, their sleep, their energy, their mental status, their moods, their emotions, their skin, hair, nails, any pain in the body. Lots of questions. That's why we generally have like a 90-minute in-depth consultation. From this information, the dosha aggravation will be determined and also the channels of the body that are affected. The expression of the imbalance and the causes or root of the imbalance can be determined also. Now, the priority in any Ayurvedic treatment is the state of Agni or the digestive fire and the status of Ama or the toxins in the body. And so these two factors are given priority. Then the healing protocol begins to pacify the imbalances and to ensure that habits are implemented so that the doshas remain pacified and to prevent any future imbalances or disease going forward. So this healing protocol includes making sure that the Agni is working efficiently, eliminating any Ama accumulation, looking at the inputs, the food, the water, the breath, even the sensory inputs, looking at the lifestyle, sleep, work, habits, activities, looking at the perceptions, behavior, the outlook, the mental health, bringing in mindfulness practices to pacify the mental gunas and qualities. This protocol may also involve herbs and or Ayurvedic therapies. And then once we bring the doshas into balance and bring the lifestyle in tune with the circadian rhythms, the body will heal. The body strives for balance. We just need to give it the right environment in which to do that. And that's where Ayurveda is amazing, as it helps us to understand our individual blueprint or mind-body type and how to maintain balance. And it gives us the guidelines on all aspects of life to ensure that we not only prevent disease, but that with our increased energy, clarity, vitality, and awareness, that we embark on this journey of self-realization to discover our unique skill set and bring that into the world so that we can feel fulfilled, we can serve others, and feel connected to the greater oneness. So it's a great journey with Ayurveda, and this healing journey takes time, and it's really a learning journey. You're a participant in your healing, and that's what I think is really wonderful about Ayurveda. It's about educating you and empowering you to understand what's going on in your body and to understand how to heal it and then maintain balance so that these aggravations don't occur again. So you become your own healer. Thank you so much, Jane, for that question. It's a really great question, and I hope that information helped. And thank you, everyone who gave these wonderful questions today. So that's Jane and Carla and Betty. I really appreciate it. And thank you to all of you for tuning in to the podcast and for sharing it with your family and friends so that we can spread this wisdom of Ayurveda. I really appreciate that. If you're finding these podcast episodes helpful, I would appreciate your support by not only sharing it with your family and friends, but maybe giving a rating and review wherever you listen to your podcasts so that we can let people know that this information is out there and that can help and guide them in their life, this Ayurvedic wisdom. If you haven't already subscribed or followed the podcast, please do so wherever you listen to your podcast, and the new episodes will automatically download for you. Please check out the show notes for all the links mentioned in this episode, and you'll also find me on social media under Elements Healing and Wellbeing on Facebook and Instagram. Thanks again for tuning in, and until next time, take good care of yourself, Be well and bye for now. Slán go fóill.